Have you thought about how strange it is that you want to do something grand in this world, be rich or famous, do something great, but you're not sure what that thing is? Isn't that strange? The culture you've been drowned in has made you want an outcome so bad, but you don't actually care enough about any of the routes it takes to get to the outcome. And you don't really see yourself like this guy or this dude. You're different. It's like deciding you so badly want to run a marathon, but you don't really care much about running. And in fact, you never really liked or gone running at all either. And you don't really see yourself like those Kenyans or those crazy people. I mean, they are quite crazy. But you still latch onto the idea of winning the marathon. It sounds like a recipe for unhappiness. But I'll let you off the hook because I'm willing to bet this decision wasn't really yours. At this point in history, about 95% of the things that you desire, the things that you really want, aren't really things that you want. They're fed to us by social media and the people around us. They make us want these things that we weren't previously aware of. That's kind of how it works. But I mean, that's not a bad thing. No one is actually stopping you from making other people aware of things that they didn't know existed and weaving a story around them that makes them want them too. You can do that. It's just really hard, I would know. It sucks sometimes, actually. But it's possible. You can do it. Fundamentally, to become whoever it is that you want to be, you need to help solve problems in one of the four eternal markets: health, wealth, relationships, and enjoyment of life. But practically, you just need to stop philosophizing about it all and get down to doing some boring work. Sell mood lamps to hotels or provide gutter repair services at scale. And you'll probably become wealthier than your wildest dreams if you learn what it means to really work hard at just one thing. You want to be a famous musician? Then obsessing over your music and your social media personality is going to get you there. But you're watching this video because you're not doing anything like that just yet. So why aren't you? There are probably many reasons. I'll list just four. You don't actually want it bad enough. Maybe you're just too comfortable with the you are right now. You think that if you just continue chasing your curiosities, success will come. Hard truth, but negative emotional drivers like greed, fear, anger, hatred, pride are simply much more powerful at getting you to do stuff than waddling towards your curiosities. If you don't fear being a loser or fear living up to your biggest regrets when you're lying on your deathbed or hate your current circumstances just like a little bit, then chances are your curiosities will not be conducive to achieving grand things. Even if you're a philanthropist, it just won't end up being grand. Secondly, you think you're cut out for much higher prestige work. This boring business stuff is just not for someone like me. I'm going to do something cool and innovative. And if this is you, I'm willing to bet that you haven't had a big failed venture just yet. You might need to let go of a fairy tale business that you wanted to build for so long. And thirdly, you might be scared of what other people think of you when and if you fail, or simply what they think of you when you start. I know that was the case for me, but you don't need anyone's permission. You certainly shouldn't live off the high of telling other people what you're going to do and achieve. And don't even think about making them understand your vision. Just go after it. And offer no explanation, except that you're choosing the path that will lead to the most exciting story. That's a get out of jail free card right there. I'd use it. But now, of course, it's onto you to make it happen. And lastly, your attention is being thrown between way too many pursuits and distractions. You feel like you're just spinning the hamster wheel and living the same 6 months on repeat over and over and over again. You haven't learned to prioritize and focus, but I talked about prioritization and keeping the important thing in this video over here. I don't know where it goes. And that's a skill you can be comfortable knowing you'll have to work on your whole life. But the logical progression after dealing with focus and prioritization is actually getting better at what you're focusing on now. If you're confident that you're working on the right thing, how do you work smarter? How do you be more efficient or achieve higher quality outcomes? Is there a system for becoming anything you want? There is. There is a system. It starts with tackling all the points I've talked about in this video that will help you become the person that you aren't. But thereafter, the system is one that you learned when you were 12, but you probably didn't take seriously enough. It's a scientific method. But we can make it even simpler. What this means for you is that if you got at your phone, stopped getting distracted, and observed your day more often and more seriously, what did you do today? Did you achieve what you said you were going to do? Were you too optimistic with what you can do in a day? Did you even set out to do anything in particular today? How can I get better at this thing tomorrow? How can I waste less time doing it? Then tomorrow you try something, which is the hypothesis and experiment part. And then if you conclude that it helped, maybe take a note of it and stack another experiment on top of that the next day. So if you're okay with learning by failing, which takes longer, but for some of us, like me, it's often the only effective way to have a lesson stick. I like to think that I'm a fast learner, but most of the time I have to fail at something and then it actually sticks. When someone tells me something, I'll be like, yeah, understand it, but I don't actually learn it. There's a difference. So if you're like that in some ways, then the scientific method is the single core system that can really be applied to every single area of your life. You don't need to look anywhere else for answers that are going to change your life. Equally, you shouldn't think in isolation and make decisions irrespective of everyone else in the world and the whole of our society and culture. But nothing online and no one else will have an answer or solution for you that isn't better than you just iterating and improving the scientific method. I'm coding an app for YouTubers like myself, and I struggle every single week with going down rabbit holes, trying to solve and build features and things that could be solved by just going a different direction. But over the years, I've slowly gotten better at applying the scientific method when I'm building things, and I've gotten used to just letting go of a few hours worth of code in order to save time in the long run and taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture, actually much more often than I used to think was necessary. Every couple of hours, you really need to take a step back and be like, what am I really building and why am I building this now? That's not easy. That's something that I've slowly been improving on over the years. However, the best is still to have tangible, real-world feedback. So if the tool I'm building looks intriguing to you, you can check it out in the description down below. Then be sure to sign up for the waitlist. And of course, let me know of any thoughts and ideas you might have in the comments. But I really hope you enjoyed this video and got hit in the face yet again with the realization that there's no other secret system or even much knowledge that hasn't been talked about to death on the internet. But that's besides the point. For you and me as creators, the point is to create and think on your own 2 feet and to hit the subscribe button. So see you the next one.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.